AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
It's getting harder and harder to watch Jordan Lawlar take the ABs. We're going to try to tell you what the Saints might do well on Sunday, but we have a situation in the studio here today. We've got a major problem here on the Tuesday edition of the show.
There is not sugarcoating it. The last 10 minutes have gone extremely poorly for the lunch break.
We were cruising our way to a nice Tuesday edition, and welcome in everybody to the Tuesday edition of the program. We thank you for joining us. Chris Schubert, producer Evan behind the glass. We were cruising to having a nice, fun show. We were excited to be with you to talk about our AFC predictions. We're going to talk some Diamondbacks baseball. We're going to talk some Blaze Alexander, all of that. Last 10 minutes have not been good. Thing number one that has happened. It's a little warm in my studio here today.
Yeah.
It's a little toasty in here.
Thank you to Corey.
Now, it's interesting
set me up with a fan
that you brought this up because Corey was in his studio and he walked down to your studio and to my studio and said, "Hey guys, the air's off down in my studio." And then I looked at my little thermostat. Air's down in my studio as well. And now because I've noticed it, feels about 25 degrees warmer
than it probably actually is.
Probably actually is. I am also wearing a sweatshirt and jeans.
Yep.
So that's not helping matters.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. Like, I typically wear a T-shirt or a polo.
Yeah, today you didn't.
Today, I wore a quarter zip. The one day our AC hasn't worked since the day I got hired.
Yeah, this is your second run through with this.
Yeah.
This is my third
but
or fourth,
it was fixed like the second or third day.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was here.
Well, we're going to go back through it here for the next couple of days. Now, you at least have a fan, which I can hear when you turn your microphone on.
You can hear it?
I can hear it a little bit in the background. But listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, Corey originally turned it on high, and then I was like, too loud.
Yeah, no,
so I had to go to low.
So that you're on low? Yeah, then I think you need to just keep it right there. I don't think anything else is going to be good. So we'll keep everybody updated. I know this was the last time we had this problem. It was a big deal among the community. They were very worried about us here on the program. So we'll keep you updated. But apparently we're back in our problem era with the air conditioning. It was a problem era last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their bullpen, they did it again. They blew it. Let's talk about it.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I would normally be irate at another meltdown like last night. And I know that there are some out there today that are bothered by the usage of the bullpen by Torey Lovullo when he used Andrew Salfrank, using him in the 8th instead of the 9th. I got to tell you, I don't think it mattered if you saved Andrew Salfrank for the 9th instead of the 8th because the guys you brought in didn't have it outside of Salfrank. So if you held him for the 9th, you still needed to get through the 8th. You still needed to get those 3 outs. It was going to be a problem. No matter who was in that game other than Andrew Salfrank. The Diamondbacks fall in extras, and it is a tough one to lose last night. You get off to the game with such a hot start. The back-to-back home runs to start the game off of Patrick Corbin. You're off to the races. Ryan Nelson throwing fastballs all over the place, up in the zone. Threw his fastball 65% of the time last night. I continue.
I was dying when I came in this morning. Ryan Nelson just beating him with fastballs.
I continue to be amazed at the way that he is able to just commit to that as a strategy, and it works.
And we talked about it, like his third time through the lineup, he ran into some issues. But we are talking about a pitcher who threw a fastball almost 75% of the time and got through to the third time through the lineup.
I mean, I said that I think this is what's going to stop him from being an ace or a number 1 or a number 2 option for a rotation. And I think you saw some of my worries last night as the game progressed and the lineup got to see him a second and third time. Felt like they got more comfortable with reading the fastball. He certainly had them guessing early in the game, first 2 innings in particular. But quality start. And if Ryan Nelson's going to be pumping quality starts, I'm not going to complain. I just think in the context of talking about him as an ace, that there's still another place, another level that he needs to get to, and it requires him using his secondaries a little bit more. But that's not what any of you want to talk about today. You don't want to talk about the Diamondbacks bullpen blowing it and whether or not they should have used Andrew Saalfrank in the 8th instead of the 9th, or using him in the 9th and using somebody else in the 8th. You don't want to have that conversation. And I don't think you want to have a Ryan Nelson conversation today. I think the conversation that everybody wants to have right now, it's a story that just won't go away. It's Jordan Lawlar. Because it was a rough one again last night. It was 0 for 3. And I found myself zeroing in on his at-bats more than anybody else's, and you can't blame me. I'm sure you're doing it too. These struggles have been so over-talked about. They've been so dissected. These struggles have been so pronounced, and this is a player that there is so much belief in what he can do for this team beyond this year, what he can be towards the future of this squad starting in 2026, that you want to see him have some success. And it is still an offer for Jordan Lawlar up at the big league level. This year, 0 for 30 now, I think, is our running tally for Lawlar. 0 for 3 again last night, a pair of strikeouts. And I got to tell you, I find myself now feeling for Jordan Lawlar. And I think I felt the pain for Jordan Lawlar. Now I'm feeling it to a different level. I'm nervous for him when he stands in that box. I am thinking about it sitting on my couch at home, watching the game from the comfort of my living room with a soda and some popcorn, or a soda and a snack, and I'm about as comfortable as I can be. And I've got the pit in my stomach when he stands into that batter's box right now. This just feels like a mental issue. This feels like he's just going through it and he's overthinking in the box. We mentioned that yesterday. You want further proof of that? Look at his second at bat from the game last night. I know he's hitting in the 9 spot, and perhaps Story Lovello did put the bunt on in that spot, but a runner at first, I don't think that early in the contest he was asking Jordan Lawlar to lay down a bunt. I don't think the bunt sign was given. Now, maybe a runner at second, you're trying to get that run in. You want to move him over to third. Sack fly brings him home. Okay, I could maybe wrap my head around that. There was a runner at first. That tells me Jordan Lawlar just trying to make anything happen so that he can get on the board, get a hit, and try to get this snowball rolling. That's what that at bat screamed to me. He was just trying to do anything. Jordan Lawlar down in Reno is never being asked to bunt. Jordan Lawlar, the AAA Reno player, is hitting the ball over the fence the way Ketel Marte and Perdomo and Tyler Lawlar were last night in that contest. This version of Jordan Lawlar is in his own head, and he's trying anything to get out of this rut. He'll take a bunt infield single to get him on the board. That at bat last night was the proof for me. Not the strikeouts, although that first strikeout was brutal, swinging at a breaking pitch about 5-10 feet outside the zone. I mean, it just wasn't even close. The bunt attempt in the second. Now, maybe Torrey put the bunt on. I don't think so. I don't think the situation with a runner at first dictates that you're bunting that runner over as a sacrifice. That, to me, screamed a player trying to make something happen just to put this behind him, get a hit, release that tension off of his shoulders, release that stress that we're all feeling. I just told you a minute ago that I'm feeling that stress as well. I'm sure many of you are feeling that stress as well. Michael says, I'm starting to feel for him. Of course you are. This is a big league baseball player trying to live out his dreams. At the end of the day, we sit here and we debate about sports, and we love arguing about a managerial decision in the 8th or 9th inning, and wins and losses sometimes dictate the moods that we have throughout the day. At the end of it all, it's just a game. It's just a sport. It's something that we've all been doing since we were kids. And Jordan Lawlar had a dream of being a baseball player. And right now, that dream is somewhat coming to fruition because he's playing big league, Major League Baseball. But in the same breath, it's also his worst nightmare. Producer Evan, can you do me a favor in the middle of trying to get your fan to work over there?
Of Of course.
Do you mind telling me what Jordan Lawlar's career numbers are at the big league level? Because I know it's 0 for 30-something at this point this year.
So it's 0 for 30 this year. As far as his career,
I just don't know how many at-bats he got in 23, and he had a couple of hits. It wasn't great. I mean, these overall numbers, spoiler alert, are not going to be pretty.
Yeah, so he's 4 of 61 in his career.
4 for 61 at the big league level, spanning 2 seasons. A little bit of a run at the end of 23, and now what we've seen here 2 distinct times in 25.
I mean, 4 of 61 is abysmally bad. I mean, you're watching his at-bats. I'm watching his at-bats. Does it feel like he's going to get a hit anytime soon?
Brian brings up an interesting point over on the YouTube channel, and I hate that we are even going here today.
I know what he said, and I think he's right.
I know, and that's why we need to have a conversation about it. And I think this goes to show you how severe these struggles are. So Brian says, so this Lawlar character is 4 for 61 lifetime and 0-4 in 2025. Nobody with these stats deserves a sound drop. It should be suspended immediately. I think he's right. I think we have to suspend the... I'll play it one more time. I mean, I think that's it. I think it's over. I think until we see some production at the big league level, I think we have to retire the drop.
Okay.
And that's painful.
Let's make a rule.
Okay.
Are you ready for the rule?
Sure.
Every time one of us hits the drop from here on out until it's unsuspended, and we're going to have to find out when we're going to deem it unsuspended. I think it's first major league home run. It is suspended until he hits a first major league home run.
I don't know if that's going to be good enough. I don't know if the listeners are going to accept that. They're going to want more consistent productivity.
Okay. Okay, how about this? Until he has a 5-game hitting streak.
We may retire the drop entirely at that point.
What about a 3-game hitting streak? If we're saying a 5-game hitting streak, we're going to retire the drop forever, we give up on him. It's over.
I don't want to give up on him. But I mean, I like I said, I'm nervous watching these at-bats for him. It pains me to watch these at-bats. I can't imagine what he's going through. I can't imagine. No,
it's sad. It's a little sad to watch because you can see how nervous he is. Like it's making me nervous watching him at the plate.
I have to stand up and pace around the room when he's up because I find myself acting as if Jordan Lawlar is a close family friend or close family member that I'm rooting for to get his first big league hit. He's got 4 of them. He hit 4 of them in 23. So he's good. He's not waiting for the ball to come in, but he's trying to get his career at the big league level off. He's trying to launch his career. This is supposed to be his chance, and this is just a cloud hovering over him. He's trying to bunt to make this a non-story. Now, the worst part about it is I think they just got to continue to play him because I don't know if sitting's going to help this. If he sits, isn't it just more opportunity for him to think about it? He made a nice defensive play early in the game last night. Was a bit of a chopper hit towards him. He fielded it well, made a really nice throw. Forget who he got at first base, but it was a pretty speedy runner. He made a nice play. So it's not totally made a nice play in the field at third last night at the start of the game. And I just worry about sitting him down right now in the middle of this stretch and it not just making matters worse, that it won't make it more difficult for him.
There's no other option they have right now. You just have to play him. And I know that sounds ridiculous because the numbers are what they are. He's 4 for 61 at the big league level, and he's 0 for 30 this year. But Devers started 0 for 28.
And I said yesterday, I'm not worried. I truly am not worried about his long-term career. I'm not. And the more days that pass by, the more foolish that statement may end up being. But I don't actually worry that once he gets through this, once he gets to the other side, that he's not going to reach his potential. I still think he can reach his potential, but it's just you just feel for him that he's going through this right now. It can't be fun. It's supposed to be fun. Playing a game is supposed to be enjoyable. And it's just not. It just feels like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders as he's just looking for career hit number 5. He's looking for his first hit of this season. And Michael just pointed out a great thing. If you're going to sit him down, you might as well send him down to AAA where he can play every day, be confident, crush the ball down there.
We say that, but
You kind of have to play him every day.
He's not getting anything from AAA baseball anymore.
No, but I think if you're going to sit him down to try to give him an opportunity to reset, I might as well just go let him play every day at AAA.
But they gave him the opportunity to reset. He came back. He's been worse. It is, at this point, him seeing pitches at the AAA level or him gaining confidence at the AAA level, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I agree. I think he should be in there every day.
It does not matter.
I think he should be the starting third baseman every day, and they should just accept these growing pains and try to work through it.
And unfortunately, I don't think there is a giving him a day to reset because the major league level itself is so in his head.
I think that would make it worse.
I think that would just make it worse. He just has to play.
And if you want to bury him in the 9 spot every game until he proves otherwise, I'll be fine with that. He doesn't deserve to be batting higher up in this lineup. He's your 9-hitter. You write him in there, and you play him until he gets out of this. I don't think anybody in the organization is giving up on the talent that is Jordan Lawlar. Man, I wanted to hit the button right there. I wanted to hit the drop. I had to stop myself. So we're retiring the drop.
And anytime you get you play the drop, you got to put $1 in the jar.
And then we still have to decide when we think it's worthy to bring the drop back for Jordan Lawlar.
I think it's 3-game hitting streak.
I would like a 1-game hitting streak right now, and I think most of us feel the same.
First hit. What about a multi-hit day?
I mean, I said it yesterday. I'll repeat it again today, and I feel even stronger about it after last night. He is just 1 3-for-4 game with a couple extra base hits and some RBIs from, I think, being fine.
Yeah, I honestly got more confident in that when he tried to lay down a bunt. But again, I don't know if that was called or if he did that. And I think if he did that, he is so in his head right now. He needs a hit. You just need to hit a ground ball through the right, through any hole in the infield. He doesn't even hit the ball that hard.
That situation was runner at first. I think there was 1 out at the time. You're not moving that. You're not moving
him to second for 2 outs.
No, you're not. Even though the top of the lineup is coming up, that was him trying to make something happen because he just feels like he needs that to clean his head out. And that tells me this is so much a mental thing right now that he just needs a multi-hit. He just needs a multi-hit.
I would love to know the numbers on that, but how many times do you think he's bunted in Reno this year?
I would assume AAA tracks sacrifices. It can't be a lot.
Yeah, I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
I mean, it can't be more than 5. If he's done it at the minor league level at all this year. I'm looking it up as well because it can't be a lot. And again, I think situation, runner at first, where things were in the game, that you're not doing that for anything other than I need this hit. I need to reset here. I need to get something good. Just trying to make something happen. I'm looking at his minor league numbers to see how many
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Would you like to know how many bunts he's laid down in 4 years in the minors?
I would love to know that. What's your
3.
source on this? Where'd you get this from?
This is from minorleague.com.
That's a good source.
Yeah, 3. His 4th career professional bunt was last night across any of the leagues.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I said if it was more than 5, I would have been surprised by that.
Yeah.
That's just trying to make something happen. And you get it. You feel for him. I understand it. Feeling like you just want something to go your way. You believe in your speed. I'm going to lay one down here. I'm going to set us up first and second for the top of the order, and I'm finally going to get the monkey off my back, and I'm going to get this hit, and I'm going to feel better about myself, and I'm going to have one. I'm not going to carry this over. I'm not going to carry this talking point into every single game that I play. Yeah, you betcha. I get it. 100%. I get it. He just needs to continue to play and just hope that he can have that one game. All right, I need a moment. It's 400 degrees in the studio. Got to open the door. Let some cool air in. I'd love to hear from you today on the program. 480-864-1060. Buckle up. Don't know what the rest of this show is going to feel like today. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream when we come back. Yesterday, we said this was a good matchup for the Arizona Cardinals. But what do the Saints do well? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Kick off your weekend with Rising, rivals, and unbeatable deals. Phoenix Rising takes on Las Vegas Lights FC on Friday, September 5th at 7:30 p.m. And $1 beers are flowing all night long. This is the match fans wait for. High energy, big moments, and a crowd that brings the heat. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Friday Night Lights, fierce rivalry, cold drinks. Don't miss it.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit andrewthehomebuyer.com. That's andrewthehomebuyer.com.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps in my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
Rome here with your Rome Report. Look, I wish nothing but the very best for the entire Sanders family. Two sons, an all-time great playing in the NFL, makes the best sport in the world even more interesting. As for Dion, our son and our money go to the University of Colorado, so believe me, I want nothing but success for that program for that reason alone. All that said, Shiloh, desperately trying to make a team, cannot get ejected in the final game of the preseason for throwing a punch. And Shador's tinfoilers can stop any time now with this idiocy that the Browns are trying to make him look bad so they can cut him. 3 of 6, 14 yards, 5 sacks, 4th on the depth chart, and a 5th-round draft pick. And with any other last name other than Sanders, he would have been cut. In other words, they're not looking for a reason to cut him. They're waiting for him to give them a reason to keep him. I'm always up for a good conspiracy theory, but these are some of the worst ever. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. We're going to make our AFC predictions here in about 10 minutes or so, predicting each division, how each division is going to finish 1 through 4. I mean, we're going
in depth,
full-blown predictions here over the next couple of days.
We're gonna keep track of these throughout the year. I'm getting excited. You can't get me to Thursday fast enough.
I mean, you can't get me to 1 o'clock fast enough today because of the air situation. I mean, I'm just not equipped to handle this today.
No, you're struggling.
I wore a hoodie and jeans. Knowing this, tomorrow I'll be better prepared. I'll wear shorts. I'll wear just a t-shirt. I'll have a hoodie in my office just in case
it comes back on. But we know now.
I'm just not prepared for today. So as much as I love spending time with everybody, as much as we love doing the show, I am today a little bit counting down the minutes until 1 o'clock. Just being honest with everybody. 1 o'clock can't come fast enough for me today, personally. Saints, week 1, the opponent for the Arizona Cardinals. And yesterday we told you, man, we love this matchup for the Cardinals defensively. Kellen Moore, first game as Saints head coach. Spencer Rattler under center, a Saints team that anybody you ask projections-wise, they think this team's going to be in the mix to be drafting number 1 overall. Just a perfect draw. You're not drawing the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. You don't have to play the Baltimore Ravens or Mahomes and the Chiefs, or you're not playing a top quality opponent to start week 1. You're facing a team that, let's face it, you should go in there and be able to take care of your business. Come back with a win, feeling good about yourself, 1-0 to start the year. But let's be generous, let's be nice, let's be fair to the New Orleans Saints. And let's try to figure out what they do well, where the Cardinals are going to have to really be on their A game if they're going to want to beat the Saints on Sunday. And for me, it is mainly on the offensive side of the ball. And it mainly starts with the guy in the backfield wearing number 41. Alvin Kamara is going to be the engine to this offense in so many ways. With Rattler, who he is as a quarterback, feels like they're going to be somewhat limited in what they'll be able to do offensively with a passing game. They've got a lot of talent. Producer Evan was shocked when I made this comment to him during the pre-show meeting today. But 4 of the 5 starters for the Saints on their offensive line are former first-round picks. 4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line, guys they drafted in the first round. Talent-wise, they're a talented group at the offensive line. They've got Chris Olave, first-round wide receiver. They brought back Brandon Cooks. They've got Juwan Johnson, a talented playmaker for them. Rashid Shaheed, a slot receiver who can burn you over the top if you're not careful. Trevor Penning, first-round pick. Kelvin Banks Jr., their first-round pick from this year. Cesar Ruiz, their right guard, first-round pick in 2020. Talise Fuaga, their first-round pick in last year's class. Their last 2 drafts, their first-round picks have been tackles. They've invested in their offensive line. They've invested in trying to put together a good group. I just think they're limited in what they're going to be able to do offensively because of who's under center. And let's face it, while number 41 in the backfield is the guy to pay attention to, he's not the Alvin Kamara of 3 or 4 years ago. He's an older player. So the Saints, what they do well, they've got talent on offense. Different levels of talent. Trevor Penning never really reaching that ceiling. Kelvin Banks Jr., what is he as a rookie? Chris Olave, are they going to be able to get him involved? All sorts of questions you can ask about this offense. But when I look at this defense matching up against this offense for the Cardinals, or the Cardinals offense matching up against the Saints defense, and you had to ask me which group I think can play well enough for the Saints to keep them in this game, I look at an offense that has some actual talent. An offense that has some playmakers that could make some big plays for this team. Chris Olave, always a threat to break one. Rashid Shaheed always can burn you over the top defensively. Alvin Kamara can always break off a big run. Kamara and Olave, the 2 stars for this team offensively. You hold those guys in check, I think you're going to be able to do anything you want defensively. I think you're going to be able to do anything you want offensively against this Saints team that was not very good against the run last year. Gave up the 3rd most rushing yards per game last season in all of football. Playing right in to who the Cardinals want to be offensively. The pitfall for the Cardinals is Kamara can break one, Olave can beat you over the top, Olave can always take a play and have a 75-yard touchdown. You got to limit the big plays, you got to limit the stars, but that's where, if the Saints are going to have a chance in this game, the things they do well, they've got a lot of first-round talent on their offensive line. They've got a first-round talent wide receiver who, when he's healthy, is one of the best young receivers in the game. They have a running back who, while not the player that he was 4 or 5 years ago, is still a productive running back that's going to go high in your fantasy drafts if you're still drafting here over the next couple of days. This is not a team that I think you're going to just walk in and you can sleepwalk to a victory. You're going to have to execute. But the best part about it is the Cardinals walk into this matchup the more talented football team. Despite everything I just said about the Saints, I think the Cardinals are the more talented football team.
No, and listen, I've been super critical of the Saints roster, especially on these airwaves. I do not think they are a very talented team, and we'll get into they can't stop anybody. But from an offensive standpoint, they do have some talent, but they are a little reliant on the big play because when you have a younger quarterback who doesn't have a lot of NFL experience, moving the ball methodically becomes more difficult. So if you limit big plays, you're going to have the advantage as a defense. Don't let yourself get beat for 50 by Olave or anything like that, because make Spencer Rattler have a 10, 12 play drive, and that's where you're going to see success. Make them run offense in the red zone. Go more bend, don't break, and I think you'll see more success.
Because if I was going to say one positive thing about Spencer Rattler as a quarterback, he's always looking for the big play.
He's a gunslinger. He always has been.
So if you let Chris Olave get away from you, Rattler's going to be looking for it. Rattler's going to not be afraid to make that throw it into maybe a tight window because he thinks this is our one chance to have that big play. That's the way the Saints are going to try to win football games this year. They're going to be looking for that big play. You need to be a disciplined, sound fundamental defense. And to your point, make him go on that 10, 12 play drive. Make him run an offense and march methodically down the field. I don't think he can do it.
And if they do that, hands up. He got me. I think with the Cardinals defense and the players they've brought in and the person at the helm for the Saints, I just don't see them in game number 1 of a new offense running a 10-plus play drive to beat the Cardinals for a touchdown. Yeah. Maybe they go get 3, but I don't see them beating them for a touchdown.
No, and that's why I wanted to be nice and say, good things about the Saints, the things they do well, and I do think there's some talent on offense that could be a problem for the Cardinals in week 1, especially because it's week 1, right? You just don't know until you step foot on the field on Sunday what this is really going to actually look like. But if you can limit those big plays to Olave and to Kamara, I think it's 1-0, taking care of business trip, coming back home, taking on the Panthers in week 2.
Yeah, I think that too. Also, Rattler is going to hold the ball. That is a massive problem for them. So this is the opportunity for your new pass rush, your new and improved defensive line to go eat a little, right? Go get some.
So we said yesterday, this is a good matchup for them against this team that, let's face it, you got a first-year head coach, you have a young quarterback, and they're probably got an eye towards starting Tyler Shuck at some point there. So it does feel like you're catching. I would feel differently about maybe catching the Saints with Shuck under center in the second half of the season. They might be a more well-oiled unit offensively. Kellen Moore might have his feet underneath him a little bit. He might have the quarterback that he has more confidence in under center. And their offense may look a lot different as the season progresses. Their defense may be a little better as the season progresses. Catching them in week 1, Should be a slam dunk, no doubt, take care of business type of trip. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also stop on by the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream and watch the video over there as well. When we come back, it's time to put our money where our mouth is. It's predictions, AFC predictions. We'll do them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code AM1060. That's code AM1060 to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Are you ready to score big with your finances? Right now, get $350 for opening a new MidFirst checking account. Just visit a branch near you or go online. Plus, register your MidFirst debit or credit card and enter to win a $1,500 shopping spree. No purchase necessary. The clock's ticking, so don't wait. Win big this season with MidFirst Bank. Visit midfirst.com for details. MidFirst Bank. True to you. Member FDIC.
There are a million reasons to smile, a million reasons to laugh. And now the Arizona Lottery is giving you a million reasons to play. Because when you play Strike It Rich, all cash or any scratchers worth $10 or more, you can enter the $1 million Mega Market giveaway for a chance to win an all-expense paid Las Vegas vacation and up to $1 million. Learn more at ArizonaLottery.com. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Hell, big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Del, yeah! What was that? Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah! Price of participation may vary.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Fries, fresh for everyone.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and knows CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a Water Watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
It's time to head back to school.
and forward to your future with Carrington College. For over 55 years, we've helped train the next generation of healthcare professionals. Apply now to get hands-on training from teachers with real-world experience. In as few as 9 months, you could start making a difference in healthcare. Classes start soon in Phoenix, Glendale, Mesa, and Tucson. Visit carrington.edu to see what's next for you. Visit carrington.edu/SCI for information on program outcomes.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
It is time to make our official predictions for the 2025-26 NFL season. Today, we'll start with the AFC predictions. We're going to go 1 through 4 for each division. We're going to pick our 7 playoff teams. We'll do the same for the NFC tomorrow. We'll make our Super Bowl prediction as well, probably on Thursday. We'll do our awards on Thursday as well. Now, Producer Evan, I have all of mine written out here. I'm ready to go. I have it east, north, south, west. Is that an order that you're comfortable going in?
What if I told you that I had it written east, north, south, west? Is that something you might be interested in?
I would say the alignment. Very aligned here on the show today, which means we can get started. And I'll give us the football music. I mean, we're going to use this a lot. That button on the board from about February to about now doesn't get used very much, gets all of its usage. Fingerprint marks everywhere on that part of the screen. The start of week 1 up until the Super Bowl. All right, let's go east first. I've got the Buffalo Bills winning this division, the Dolphins finishing second, the Pats finishing third, and the Jets finishing fourth. This one felt really easy for me. The Jets in year 1 with a new regime. I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be solid, but I do think they are going to be the bottom of this division. The Pats, I think they've got the right coach. I think they have the right quarterback under center. They're investing in the right areas. They get Will Campbell in the draft to help protect that young quarterback. That was a huge problem for Drake May when he took over as the starter, just getting beat up way too much. They've got a coach that's going to really be able to game plan well. And so I just think they're going to beat out the Jets a little bit. And don't be surprised if they're flirting with a playoff spot as the year progresses. I've got the Dolphins at number 2 because I know everybody likes to troll the Miami Dolphins, and they like to troll Mike McDaniel. They're a really good offensive football team. They're really good at scoring points. And when they're healthy, it's hard to beat them. Remember that game they played with Baltimore last year, 2 years ago? It was just up and down a track meet, right?
And they can play a track meet with anybody.
Anybody. Their defense does worry me. I do worry about the quarterback missing a couple of games throughout the course of the year. That's the reason why you all know the drill, the standard bearer. The Bills are number 1. Until Josh Allen's gone, until Sean McDermott isn't there, they know how to win in the regular season. This is not a postseason conversation. This is who's going to win this division. I have the Bills winning the division.
I have Buffalo winning the division. This is our only flip. I have the Jets finishing in the basement, but I'm with you. I think they're a 6-11, 7-10 football team. Keep them competitive. I think they are taking steps towards being a better football team with the new regime. I just don't see it right now. But at 2, I had New England. I'm really high on what New England did. I thought they addressed a lot of their issues. Protecting the quarterback and offensive weapons were 2 of their major holes last year. They were towards the bottom of the league, and both obviously went out and took Will Campbell 4th overall and added Stephon Diggs. They're going to take a flyer there. Every report I've heard is he's looked good in camp.
Oh, love those reports. Love those types of reports.
Right now, I'm high on New England. I'm a believer in Drake May. Obviously, I love Mike Vrabel and everything that he's going to bring to that football team. I see them as a 9-8 football team. I really do.
And in all of that, didn't even mention that they're going to have a really good running game. Ramondre Stevenson can run. Travion Henderson could take over and be the lead back there at some point. So they got a lot of young pieces that you can get excited about. Again, the defense, I do have some worries, but Vrabel's normally good with that. I can't fault you for putting the Pats too. I think they're going to be better than the Jets, and I think they'll be in the mix. I just want to see it a little bit more before I'm willing to say, you know what, going out on a limb, they're going second in the division. The North, I've got Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. This felt like an easy division to put together.
Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. I think it's probably the easiest division of the four.
Browns going to be one of the worst teams in football.
No doubt about it.
Steelers, I think they just have a ceiling with a 42-year-old quarterback who didn't look fantastic last year, was better as the year progressed, but I think there's limitations offensively. I know they have DK Metcalf, but they lose George Pickens. Arthur Smith's the offensive coordinator there. How expansive are they going to be on offense? I know they just signed Jaylen Warren to a 2-year contract extension. How good's their running game going to be? It just feels like another year where Mike Tomlin's going to go 9-8, maybe 10-7, make the postseason, but ultimately not be able to go far in the playoffs because there's a limit on what they're able to do offensively. They paid TJ Watt, so you expect a big year from him, but I just have concerns about them offensively. The Bengals, I know their defense is a problem. I think it's more of a problem when talking about them winning a championship. They're going to win a lot of regular season games because Joe Burrow and that offense are going to throw the ball 45, 50 times a game. Legitimately, they're going to throw the ball a ton.
They're going to throw the ball almost every down, and they're going to have to almost every down. But I'm with you. I think they're the second best team in this division. I'm sorry. If Joe Burrow's healthy, he's not missing the playoffs 2 years in a row.
No, and I have the Ravens winning the division because I do think in many ways, despite not going to the Super Bowl last year, they're the standard bearer right now in the AFC.
I agree with you. I think they're the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I really think they have a coach who doesn't get talked about enough in that small circle of elite coaches. They have a quarterback who everybody tries to pick apart what he does wrong instead of highlighting all of the great things that he does right on a regular basis. They have an offensive identity that everybody involved commits to. And oh, by the way, a really talented running back behind them in Derrick Henry, a really talented tight end in Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers is a nice young piece. Defensively, you always know they're going to be there. They just paid Kyle Hamilton. They've got a lot of talent. So I've got them winning the division. AFC South, Texans, Jags. Here's a surprise for you. Titans, Colts.
Jags, Texans, Titans, Colts.
So you're with me that the Colts are going to be a really bad football team.
Really bad football team. Really bad football team. And I'll be honest with you, I think very similar about the Tennessee Titans as I do as the Jets. They're headed this right way. I don't know if it'll be this year, but they're going to win a few games they probably shouldn't.
Can I say something that's probably going to get clipped, put out on social media, taken out of context? Nobody anticipated the Washington Commanders being able to do a whole lot last year, right? But Jaden Daniels was special. That special ability at quarterback can win you more games than maybe you expect. I think Cam Ward is that type of special. I'm not predicting the Titans to make the postseason. But what I am saying is, can Cam Ward win them more games than they should because he puts the team on his back in year one? I think he's that type of quarterback. So I'm saying that maybe instead of going 3-14, they maybe go 5-12, 6-11. But that's the type of difference. The infrastructure around Cam Ward, a lot different than the infrastructure around Jaden Daniels there in Washington. But that's how much I believe in Cam Ward.
And I like Houston a lot, and I like Jacksonville a lot, but they aren't the top of the end of the AFC. Tennessee could steal one of those games, certainly clean up against the Colts. There are division winnable games for the Titans. I look at them as almost even better than that as a 7-10 football team. I really do. I think a lot of what the Titans have done this offseason. I also think this is going to be a big year for Calvin Ridley.
The West, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. I'm sure that for you, it's Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. The Raiders at 9-8. Just
I know,
first team out.
Yeah, I just knew you were gonna say something like that. My 4 playoff team, my 4 division winners: Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs. Those obviously make the playoffs. My 3 wild card teams: Bengals, Steelers, Chargers. I didn't mean for this to be the case. I have the same 7 playoff teams in the AFC as last year.
That's crazy. That's crazy. My 4 division winners.
Oh, no, I take that back. The Bengals missed the playoffs.
The Bengals weren't in.
I have the Bengals in.
So who's out?
I have the Bills in. They were in last year. The Ravens were in last year. The Steelers were in last year. Oh, I have the Broncos, out. I have the Broncos out.
Yeah. All right, my division winners: Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Jacksonville. My 3 wildcard teams: Denver, Cincinnati, and Houston takes the 7th seed, just over the Chargers.
So there you have it. Our AFC predictions for the upcoming year. We'll do the NFC ones tomorrow. We'll give you our Super Bowl prediction and awards predictions on Thursday. First edition of the Power Rankings on Thursday. Football right around the corner. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1 here of the program, a little buy or sell. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture. Wow, look at you. I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her. Well, congrats, buddy. Ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Let's get right to it. Buy or sell to wrap up hour number 1 here of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the lunch break. Chris Schubert, producer Evan with you here. Hottest takes in sports talk radio. Hotter than yesterday?
No. It came out hot.
You did start the week ablaze.
See what you did there.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in hour number 2 of the show. All right, what do you got on the menu today?
ASU dropped to 12 in the AP poll. ASU did not deserve to drop a spot in the AP poll. The team that came up and jumped them at 11 was Illinois.
How did Illinois fare over the weekend?
Illinois obviously got a big win.
Well, certainly. If
I'm going to tell you the final score.
If you hopped ASU in the AP poll, I certainly hope that you won.
Yeah, they beat Western Illinois 52-3. I didn't know the exact final, but 52-3.
See, that's what you're supposed to do against in-state opponents.
Yeah, it's certainly impressive.
So that's what that's supposed to look like. I will sell the idea that they shouldn't have fallen a spot. They should. We told you about all the concerns yesterday that we had with that performance over the weekend. And I saw some people dismiss me on social media. Oh, Chris, don't worry about it. The penalties will get solved. It's just some sloppiness that'll be cleaned up. Really? Okay. Penalties are not something that is just easily fixed. Discipline is sometimes hard to instill in young college athletes. There's a lot of discipline-related penalties. I'm with you. I think it's possible that they clean it up. I think it's likely that they clean it up, but it's not a certainty. Penalties are one of those things that can hang around longer than you'd like them to. I'll sell this. They did deserve to fall a spot.
Okay. I thought they probably did. And now looking at that score, I really think they did.
John bringing up the excellent point of Illinois covered the spread.
Yes. Good teams win, great teams cover. It's a concern early, especially because ASU felt like they covered every game last year.
0 for 1 this year.
0 for 1. Cardinals will hold the Saints without a touchdown on Sunday.
I mean, this is unfair. It's just unfair to put this on the defense. Because now I have to sell this and talk bad about the defense. I'm going to sell this because it's the NFL. Teams find a way into the end zone. And that doesn't mean that they had a bad defensive performance if they allow a touchdown. But I will sell this.
Listen, they might give up a touchdown, but I could also very well see this game being 28-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, if the Cardinals dominate defensively the way that they should against Spencer Rattler, this could be blowout territory early. But I've seen the Cardinals in these types of games in the past play with their food a little bit and then lose to Carolina at the end of the season when you're not supposed to lose to Carolina in a game that actually matters. So just be careful. Just be careful.
It's very true. All of these, by the way, are about the current Cardinals game coming up this week. I figured that'd be a great way to get everybody ready for the week. Cardinals will try to draw up a number of plays for Marvin Harrison to quiet some of the conversations.
I'm going to buy this. They shouldn't, but I'm going to buy this. And the reason why I'll buy this is because I do think there's going to be a concerted effort to get him more involved. And there should be, right? There should be a effort to get him more involved, but it shouldn't come at the expense of going away from who you are as an offense. And that's the job of the offensive coordinator, right? It's Drew Petzing's responsibility to say, okay, how do I get Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved while sticking to what I want to be on offense, sticking to my principles? And those principles are running the football and getting the ball to Trey McBride. Those two things can't suffer because we've got to get the ball to Marv. Good offensive coordinators, great offensive coordinators, find a way to do all of the above. You think Andy Reid worries on a weekly basis the target share for all of his guys? No. He draws up good plays, and then Patrick Mahomes executes those good plays, and they get the ball to their good players. In Cincinnati, do you think it's a worry of Zach Taylor and that offensive coaching staff of getting both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase involved? No.
I don't think they lose a second of sleep over it.
Because they're good offensive coordinators that game plan that way. So game plan that way if you're Drew Petzing, and you're going to let everybody feast.
I think they're going to take a shot with Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first 4 plays of the game. Just tell everybody to calm down. That's what that's going to be.
Until he drops it, then everybody's losing their mind.
You run that risk, certainly, but that's what they're going to do. James Conner will have over 100 yards against this Saints rushing defense.
I said it earlier in the hour, but this Saints attack last year defensively, rushing, gave up the 3rd most yards. They were the 3rd worst
run
defense.
It was really bad.
141 yards per game last year. It was 30th in the NFL. And I don't think it's going to be any better this year. So, yeah, I'll buy this. I think James Conner feasts here on Sunday against this. This matchup just favors the Cardinals so well. With what the Saints struggle with defensively, with the way the Cardinals want to play offensively, it sets up really nicely for them.
That takes you on a perfect even split, by the way, this week so far. I know we're only 2 days in, but you've bought 4, sold 4, Coming out even.
Hedging my bets here to start the week. We've got the NFL news dump. We got to talk about Blaze Alexander. And how about some Cardinals prop bets? Hour number 2 right around the corner. Thanks for joining us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Cool off with a road trip to northern Arizona's beautiful AAA 4 Diamond Resort. Football freaks, crush our $57,000 pigskin pick'em and score up to $500 free play weekly and up to $5,000 cash at season's end. Swipe your Players Club card at any kiosk to make your picks. Mondays 10 a.m. through Saturdays 5 p.m. for the following week's games. 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Denny's has 5 slams starting at $5, like the 2-egg breakfast slam. Great deals on full meals like the Super Slam. That's slamming smart. 5 slams starting at $5. And now earn booth bucks with Denny's rewards. Find your booth at Denny's. Valid at participating restaurants and on Denny's.com for a limited time. Restrictions and surcharges apply.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K-12 at chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Looking at some Cardinals prop bets with the season getting underway this Sunday. And we've kind of hinted at some of these numbers throughout the course of our summer conversations, but I thought it would be an interesting conversation to open up hour number 2 here of the show. And welcome back into the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan here with you. If you'd like to join us, 480-864-1060 is the phone number. But I thought it would be a fun little exercise to go through some of these prop numbers, just see where the betting markets are on some of the bigger names for this Cardinals team. So producer Evan's been working very hard throughout the last couple of breaks, putting these numbers together. I don't know exactly how many players he tried to get. I'm assuming there's a lot of Kyler props. I'm assuming we'll be talking some James Conner. I see him frantically writing down, like, the bell's about to ring in class, and he's got like 2 more questions to answer on the test, and he's making sure he answers them in time.
Yeah, I mean, that was a generous. This is me trying to get my homework done before, it turns in That's what this feels like.
I did that plenty of times. I can't tell you how often I would, knowing that a class was after lunch.
Do it at lunch.
Lunch.
All the time. All the time, right? And you're finding somebody else. Also, the big thing at lunch was like you find somebody who had already taken the test. What'd you think?
Yeah, what'd you think? Hard, easy?
Yeah.
What was the focus? And then you'd have some friends who'd be like, well, I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you if the test was easy
And
or
I'll
hard.
be honest with you, those people I didn't want to be friends with.
Some of those still are my best friends. People who conducted themselves like that. But all right, I will let you dictate where we go here. I'll let you guide us of which players, which props we're going to talk about. I have some numbers prepared because I'm assuming you're going to start with the quarterback, so I have his numbers up here in front of me.
I am going to start with the quarterback.
Okay.
So I'll go passing yards over touchdowns, and then I also have a rushing prop for you.
Okay.
So I'll start with all the quarterback ones.
Okay.
And then we'll move on player by player. Cool. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
According to DraftKings, Kyler Murray's season passing yards is 3,400.5 yards. You can get the over of that at minus 110 as well as the under 3,400.5.
Yeah, I this is kind of a show thing. We've been talking about this all summer. We're going to keep tally of it on the book it board behind me. We love this number. And I love the over here because Kyler has gone over this number in every year of his career except 2, and there's legitimate reason for those 2 years. 22, played in 11 games. That's the year he got hurt, 2,368 yards. Then in 23, he came back for those final 8 games through 1,799 yards. Every other year in which he's played at least 14 games, 3 of which he's played 16 games or more, he's hit this number. Rookie year, 3,722. 2020, he hit nearly 4,000 yards, 3,971. In 21, 14 games, 3,787. And then last year in 17 games, and this is more important because those early years you can say, well, that was
different Kyler, different roster. They had DeAndre Hopkins.
Different offense, right? Cliff wanted to throw the ball down the field, a more explosive air raid type offense. Drew Petzing, Jonathan Gannon, they want to run the football. They want to dictate time of possession. Even with that caveat, he threw for 3,851 yards last year in 17 games in this offense. So not like he got to 34-12 and barely got the over if we use that number. He's clearing this number significantly. I mean, he's 451 yards clear of the number last year. That's probably what, 2.5 games worth of throwing margin of error that I have. So again, assuming health, this number flies over.
I really love the over. I don't see a world where he doesn't hit this and if he plays all 17 games. I really think that's a major concern is he's going to miss a game. And I think that's why this number is probably this low.
I have 2.5 games worth of wiggle room, I think.
I'm with you. I think you have probably 2 games, yeah. Kyler Murray over touchdown passes 20.5. You can get both the over and the under at minus 110.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but the stats for passing touchdowns follow everything we just said about passing yards. In the 3 years under Cliff, in which he played at least 14 games, 20 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns. Last year, he threw 21 touchdowns. So this number is at least a little closer to where the betting number is. You said 20.5?
20.5.
But he's still done this in every year except 1 when he's played basically a full season. He threw 20 touchdowns in his rookie campaign.
Kyler Murray over 475.5 rushing yards. You can get that at minus 110. You can get the under at minus 110 as well.
So this is interesting. He rushed for 572 yards last year. And then in 21, he rushed for 423 yards. He had the huge year in 2020 with 819 yards. And then in 2019, he rushed for 544. What did you say the number was?
475.5.
I'll take the over on this as well. The only year in which he didn't do it and played in a ton of games was 2021, and he barely missed. He missed by 52 yards.
Wow. So and how many games did he miss?
That year he played 14 games and rushed for 423
so he missed his 3 games?
He missed 3 games and missed it by 55 yards.
Okay.
Last year he rushed obviously played in all 17 games, had 78 carries, and he had 572 yards on the ground. So about 100 yards worth of a buffer.
Yeah, about 100 yards.
And last year, he averaged his most yards per carry in his career at 7.3.
He was a very effective runner. I think that gets a little underrated last year. I thought he was really effective.
Yeah, I mean, it was a career year for him in terms of his average per attempt, 7.3.
Okay. All right, moving on to the big name receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. receiving yards. 975.5 is the number.
Wow.
You can get the over on that at actually plus 100 and the under at minus 120. Means the books think the under is more likely.
Okay. But the books are also telling on themselves here a little bit. And this is everybody telling on themselves a little bit. The number you said was 975.5?
975.5.
What if I told you that Marvin Harrison Jr. was within 100 yards of that number with what he did last year? Because remember, everybody loves to tell me how bad Marvin Harrison Jr. was last year. How awful of a first-round pick he was because he just wasn't producing. He was within 100 yards of this number. And so if he is anything better than he was last year, he's flying over 1,000 yards. Flying over 1,000 yards. He had 885 receiving yards last year. That's 95 yards off of this number, or 90 yards off of this number. And he was bad last year, according to many of you. He wasn't very good. So he had a bad year. If he's within 100 of his number this year, I'll take the over for this as well.
Staying with Marvin Harrison Jr., touchdowns, 6.5. You can get the over at minus 110, the under at minus 1.
Now, touchdowns are
tough.
Touchdowns are very unreliable of an indicator, right? You can't look. Passing touchdowns is a reliable indicator, right? Because if you're Kyler Murray, you have a lot of control over what happens there, right? For Marv, he's got to get the ball in these chances, right? And so he's more dependent on other people to get to this number. But he had 8 last year.
I was going to tell you, will tell you he did surpass that number last year. As, quote, bad as he was, he had 8 last year. And they went to him a lot on the goal line. There was a couple fades that people were complaining that they didn't come down with. They're giving him the opportunities in the red zone.
And he's going to get those opportunities in the red zone because I think defenses are going to pay a large amount of their attention to Trey McBride down in the red zone this year. I think teams are going to try to take that away from Kyler and make him throw to the outside. So I'll take the over on this as well. I'm very bullish on the Cardinals offense, if you can't tell here early. I also think these numbers are just not priced well. I don't think these are 3,400 yards for Kyler Murray. He's done it every year with room for error, margin, room for doubt in all of those years, except the 2 years in which he was hurt. I just think that's a bad number.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad number to say, oh, Marvin Harrison Jr. is only going to be 90 yards better than he was last year. I think that's a bad number.
I don't disagree with you. Trey McBride, you talked about him being the focal point in the red zone. As far as receiving yards, 900.5 is the number. Over and under, both at minus 110. Need over 900 yards for Trey McBride.
He had 1,146 last year. Does anybody anticipate his role in this offense
diminishing? Are you going to take a single under?
No, not if the numbers are going to be priced this poorly. No, I'm not. I'll take another over here.
You might take this next one.
If they said his number was 1,100 yards, I would consider maybe the under just because of variance. 246 yards off of where he was last year.
900 yards is a lot from a tight end. It just is.
He had 1,146 yards last year.
Yeah, but here's the thought process.
Okay.
If Marv has the better year, those targets have to be taken from somewhere. You imagine they'll get taken somewhat from McBride. I don't know if it'll be 246 yards worse, but you have to imagine those numbers will be taken. And we are also betting that this offense throws the ball more than they did last year.
No, they can throw exactly the same number that they threw last year. Kyler threw the ball 541 times last year.
Okay.
There are some of those balls that Marv just dropped.
I agree. So listen, the numbers probably tell you a different story than watching the game. I agree with you that Marv didn't have a bad rookie year. There was some concerns. You watch the games and there was concerns. And so if he cleans those things up, you imagine he'll be better.
And he can still get 116 targets and feast.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. Trey McBride over 4.5 receiving touchdowns.
I'll take the under on this. He had 2 last year. You're asking
6 career.
You're asking for me to double that number and then some, and touchdowns again are a weird thing to try to predict. Because there's a world where he catches 4 touchdowns, and now I don't hit this number. He doubles his touch. Now, I expect him to catch some more touchdowns this year.
You'd have to imagine.
But I'll take the under just to...
I'm sorry, but your best offensive player only getting in the end zone twice is an alarmingly bad number.
I will take the under just to have one under on our card.
That's alarmingly bad.
I wouldn't be surprised if he catches 5 or 6.
All right. Well, we talked about the pass game. James Conner, rush yards, 875.5.
87 over. I'll take the over. No, okay, what was the number?
875 and a half. You can get the over at -105 and the under at -115. The books love the over.
875. He's done it each of the last 2 years. He's been 1,000-yard back each of the last 2 seasons. Other than that, you have to go back to 2018, in which he got to 973. His first 2 years in Arizona, 752 and 782. So he has been a bit of a revelation here over the last 2 seasons when it comes to this number. I'm going to take the under on this, not because I think James Conner is going to be bad, but I just think Trey Benson's role in this offense is going to expand as the year goes on.
I think we both believe in what Trey Benson has done, and we think it'll be more Trey Benson this year.
Yes.
Plus, it's just hard. Like, James Conner is what he is. He's an aging running back in the NFL, and it's hard to stay healthy for 17 games with the way he runs the football.
100% agree.
Last one, Conner. Over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. Oof. The over is at -110, under also.
And he had 8 last year. So that
he did have 8 last year.
He would have hit this number last year. Let's look to see what the numbers tell us. 7 the 2 years previously, 15 his first year. I forgot how good he was that first year getting into the end zone.
He got every goal line touch.
Every goal line touch. He had 15 of them. He's only hit this number 3 times in his career. 2018, his first year with the Cardinals in 21, and last year. And if everything I just said about Trey Benson remains true, then I do think there's going to be some limited touches for Conner down there in the red zone. So I will take the under on this one as well.
Just to recap, you took the over on Murray's passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns. You took the over on Marvin Harrison receiving yards and touchdowns, over on McBride receiving yards, under on McBride touchdowns, under on Conner rushing yards, under on Conner rushing TDs. Those are all the props I had for you.
I think
ended up being pretty even, though we started heavy on the overs.
I also think it kind of tracks with how I feel about this team this year. I'm more bullish on Kyler Murray than most. I'm more bullish on Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't think that year last year was as bad as everybody's making it out to be. I like Trey McBride quite a bit. We've talked about Trey Benson's emerging role in this offense. So I think the numbers kind of matched with what we feel about this team. So I'm not surprised that's where it ended up.
I did find one fun team prop.
Okay.
That I think you like. Do you want to find that one?
I would love for you to share this one with me.
Arizona Cardinals 2025-2026 regular season division wins. You can get the over 2.5 at -130. I love that.
So they'd have to go 3-3 in the division.
You have to go 3-3. You have to split in the division, and you can get that at -130.
They were great in the division last year, weren't
they? They were great. They swept the Niners. They took at least one from the Rams.
They didn't take.
And you got swept by Seattle. So you did finish 3-3. We think Seattle's worse than they probably were last year. And there's major questions on the health of Stafford. I think the Niners will probably make a step up, and you'll end up splitting. If you split all 3, you do hit this over.
Yeah, I put me down for that one as well. I'll take the over for the division wins at 2.5. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. I'm going to use one of the comments over there to do a little cheap plug here on the show. John says, just got a temporary work truck, no HD radio, had to listen to AM for a minute while setting up the Bluetooth. That was rough. And this is why you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Now, I think that's what you mean by setting up the Bluetooth so that you could listen on the app. But this is why you download the app. Maybe you don't like listening on AM radio. Well, the app, crystal clear. The HD radio, crystal clear. Not every car. My car doesn't have HD radio, but you know what? I've got the KDUS AM 1060 app downloaded so I can listen to the station on there. When we come back, it's Tuesday. We've got the NFL news dump. Top stories around the world of football. We'll react to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The kids' homework, to make sure it's done. The front door, to make sure it's locked. You get it, things you double check. So how about your child's car seat? Double check your child is in the proper seat based on their age and size, and buckled properly. Making sure the seat is installed correctly should be the single most important double check of your day. Learn more at gohs.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Stevie Nicks.
One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena. Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout. Don't fall victim to Art the Clown inside a grisly Terrifier haunted house like nothing you've seen before. And that's only 2 of 8 terrifying haunted houses. Grab your tickets now at universalstudioshollywood.com/Halloween. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the Valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
This is Ron. I'm the president of Alaskan AC. Our main job is keeping you comfortable, and we hope that puts a smile on your face. But we recently met someone we just made smile just by being on the radio.
I giggle every time I hear you guys come on. My daughter laughs at me because I can hear the jingle start, and I immediately turn the volume up.
That's our new friend, Charisse. Not a customer, just somebody who needed a laugh, and we just happened by.
My husband passed away 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago. I fell into a very dark depression. You guys make me so happy, so I can't say thank you enough. I really, truly can't.
That's awesome. No matter how we made you happy, we just want to say thanks. You're the reason we've been keeping Arizona chill since 1972.
The Grizz cracks me up, and I've actually repeated it to people because some of them don't know who you guys are. So I have to say, oh, you have to listen to them. They're so funny.
Reach out anytime at alaskanac.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Bears and their GM, Ryan Poles, have taken plenty of heat for their inability to consistently put a winning product on the field. And yes, some of the criticism is valid. But to fully understand where the Bears are now, you have to remember where they started. Poles took over in 2022. Chicago had the most dead cap space in the NFL, a crippling number that made roster building nearly impossible. Fast forward to 2025, and the picture looks very different. The Bears now boast what was once considered a generational quarterback prospect, a retooled offensive line, and a collection of promising young weapons. On top of that, they flipped the script financially, owning the least amount of dead cap in the league. Pair all of that together with a new head coach, praised for his innovative offensive approach, and the foundation finally looks stable. There have been misses and setbacks, no doubt. But when you compare 2022 to today, the Bears have come a long, long way. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The problem with most security systems is they only take action once somebody breaks in. That's too late. Simply Safe is different. It's designed to be proactive, not reactive. With Active Guard outdoor protection, smart AI-powered cameras identify threats lurking and immediately alert monitoring agents. Get 50% off your new Simply Safe system at simplysafedan.com. Visit simplysafedan.com. Be proactive, not reactive. And remember, there is no safe like Simply Safe. High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, a family-style commitment to care. That's the Heartland difference. Always flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com, delivered right to your doorstep. Get 2 ribeyes on me with a purchase of $150 or more. Use the promo code football25. Heartland Steak Company, your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Our newest sponsor, you're going to taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Just had somebody walk into the studio here during the break and go, "Oh, it's so warm in there. Thanks. I know." During the break, I've walked out of the studio. Normally, I stay in the studio and I'll get some tabs set up on my tablet. If with a certain story we're talking about, I'll try to pull it up. I'm like, I've got to get out of here. I need some cool air. I've been hovering.
No, yeah, you have to get out of it.
I've been hovering around the fan that you have in your studio in there.
It's nice.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's
wonderful.
wonderful.
On a low setting, but it's nice.
I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it's lovely. NFL News Dump. It is a Tuesday, so it's the top stories around the world from football. We react to them here. There's a bunch today. I mean, it's week 1, baby. There's a lot to break down. Producer Evan, what is a part of the news dump today?
Well, it's official. They've made the announcement. Stafford expected to play in the opener. And it raises the question, are we going to get an expected to play, expected not to play every week with this guy?
Yes. Like, that was my first reaction when I saw the headline under the NFL banner on ESPN that he was expected to start on Sunday for the Rams. It is going to be a game time decision basically every single week. Because what's going to happen is he's going to play on Sunday against the Texans. And then they're going to see how he feels the next day.
I mean, if Will Anderson hits him hard, that could be it, right? Like, that could be it.
Could take him out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's going to play on Sunday. They're going to see how he feels on Monday. And then they're going to have to probably manage this throughout the week. And then come Thursday or Friday, we'll get our next drop of, oh, that Stafford's going to play this Sunday. He's okay. Or, oh, he's questionable. We're going to do this every single week. Where's my wheel? Where's my wheel drop? There it is. That's going to be us and Matt Stafford every week. Just wondering aloud if he's going to play.
With all that being said, expected to play in week 1.
Sure.
We will see Matt Stafford suit him up on Sunday. Jackson Dart has been listed as the backup quarterback for the Giants over Jameis Winston. What does that mean? Could we see Dart play this year? Are we kind of reading too much into it? I don't know. But Jackson Dart listed as the backup as behind Russell Wilson.
Maybe I'm reading too much into this. I'll go there. They trust him way more than they trust Jameis Winston. He is the backup quarterback. And that tells me they have set this up now. They have set this up to where two things are true. They will be ready to pull that plug on Russ the moment they have the chance because they think Dart is ready. And 2, they are willing to go to Dart quicker than maybe many of us thought. A lot of people thought that for Dart, this was going to take a little bit.
Especially with that schedule.
Right.
Does not seem to be that
You've
way.
listed him as the backup. Russ needs to take a play off. You know who's going into the game on Sunday? Jackson Dart. Not wishing this on Russ, but a tough hit. He gets put into the protocol. They're checking on him. He's getting evaluated. The drive needs to continue. It's not Jameis Winston taking those snaps now. It's Jackson Dart. That is the trust and faith that this regime has in him already, that they are comfortable. If Russ needs to come out of this game for anything, they're okay with it being Jackson Dart under center.
Let me ask you this. Do you tend to be a believer in letting the rookie quarterback play or have him sit, learn a little? Obviously, there's two sides of that coin, right? You've seen it work both ways.
I think it depends on the quarterback themselves. I think it depends individually on my team's situation. There's a light on the air conditioning unit in here. We may be back. Something just flashed. Sorry to completely derail us, but I got very excited. I was like the dog in Up. I was like, what's going on over there?
Great reference, by the way.
Some quarterbacks need the time. Dart felt like he fell into that camp mainly because of the offensive system he came out of in college. Not asked to read an entire defense, not asked to dissect an entire defense. There was a learning curve, right? There are some quarterbacks that come from a system where I can throw anything at them and they're going to understand what I'm saying. And they don't need time to learn the terminology or to learn how to read cover 2 or cover 3. Whereas if you're a quarterback out of Tennessee, this was the knock on Hendon Hooker coming out of Tennessee a couple years ago. In that offense, you're reading this half of the field. If this isn't there, then throw here. And it's boiled down and made very easy for you. It's spoon-fed. At the NFL level, you can't get away with that. This tells me that Jackson Dart is ahead of schedule, ahead of the curve of where maybe some of us thought he was going to be, or at least where the Giants feel he is. They're comfortable turning to him if they need to in an emergency.
There's concerns about him getting to his second, third read, stuff like that.
If you have those concerns with Jameis Winston on your roster, Jackson Dart is dressing as your third QB.
That's what I tend to believe as well. Great story on ESPN this morning where things went wrong for the Cowboys and Michael Parsons. I would say it started probably there. Plus, there was concerns about a back issue.
So a bunch of reporting on this. Jeremy Fowler, Don Van Natta Jr., and 4 other reporters joined together to collaborate
story
on this story. Highly recommend you reading it. It goes behind the scenes of a meeting that Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons had back in March that potentially set the course for everything that happened there after that. It walked you through how they got to the trade. It has quotes from anonymous members inside the organization that were a part of these discussions. A really great read. I'm not going to give all of it away. I highly recommend you reading it, but it does paint a picture of a team that way back when was more comfortable about moving on from Michael Parsons than we maybe originally thought. Back on that March 18th meeting, Jerry Jones thought they had a deal, was very upset with the way things transpired after that, and those conversations they started having, somewhat after that, right after the draft, they started considering a world where Micah wasn't going to be there anymore. They did not consider it before the draft, but after the draft, it certainly became a topic of conversation.
It also makes you wonder, and reading it, I don't know if I would be less upset or more upset if I was a Cowboys fan.
I
still think it's more upset.
Reading it from a neutral observer's perspective, I felt less upset about what Dallas did after reading the story. The relationship felt very fractured, and there were some legitimate concerns in that building about Micah's place on that team moving forward. Take his talent and put it to the side for a second. The podcast bothered some people.
Yeah.
What he said about his teammates bothered some people. There were concerns about...
The podcast thing has never worked for anybody.
No, so that was a concern. There was also some concern about the back injury. There was concern about, was he going to be a fit? And by paying him, we got to pay Deron Bland. We have to pay all these other players. Are we going to be able to fill the other areas of concern that we have? And it did feel like Micah wasn't 100% innocent in all of this. That Micah also didn't necessarily handle things the right way. I thought it was a great read. Again, still a bad trade. Still a trade I wouldn't have made. I would have exhausted every option possible under contract with Micah Parsons to solve this and figure this out. But it did paint a little bit of a different picture for me after reading.
Kyler Murray listed as one of the 25 most intriguing players of the 2025 season by The Athletic. He came into the list at number 21.
Yeah, The Athletic put together this list, the top 25 most intriguing players entering this upcoming season, and they had Kyler Murray listed on this list and talking about how had a great end of the year last year, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that framing of what happened in the second half of the season. It felt more of a disappointment than anything else, but talking about how he looked good in that offense. He's another year familiar with that offense. They've surrounded him with the right pieces, and he is intriguing because there is legitimate concern about what his future may look like here. And so he's got to play well in order to cement that future. Because if he doesn't, he's going to leave the door wide open for the Cardinals to maybe consider moving on and going in a different direction. That is your NFL news dump here on a Tuesday. We appreciate you joining us. You want to hop into the conversation today. 480-864-1060 is the phone number. And you're going to want to have that phone number because I have not announced this. We've been talking about this a little bit behind the scenes. But throughout the year, we're going to have our battle between our picks, between producer Evan and I. But what we're going to have is every week, we're going to have one of you play against us. So every Friday, we tend to give away our gift card to Von Hansen's, right? Well, now you're going to be a part of the pick'em on the show to be able to win that gift card. So every Friday, you're going to make your picks, 3-point pick, 2-point pick, 1-point pick. And if you beat or tie one of us, either my picks or producer Evan's picks, you're going to walk away with that gift card. So we hope that you get involved with the program. You enjoy making picks alongside of us all throughout the year. And even if you're not eligible to win the gift card that week because you won it the week prior and you still want to make your picks, we would love for you to join us on Friday and make your picks on the show. So that's coming up on Friday. And then we still got to decide on what our punishment is for the picks segment this year.
I was going to say that. We need to do that this week.
I don't think we need to finalize it this week. It just needs to be finalized before the end of the year, before the end of the season. We can't just end the year and then decide on the punishment. We need to find something somewhat soon. I would say by Thanksgiving, I'd like to have the punishment locked in.
I think that's fair. By Thanksgiving, hopefully we're both still in it. Hopefully somebody's not getting crushed.
I think we'll both still be in. I think it'll be very close throughout the year. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, he made a start in center field last night, and boy, did he look the part. We'll talk about it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Kick off your weekend with Rising, rivals and unbeatable deals. Phoenix Rising takes on Las Vegas Lights FC on Friday, September 5th at 7:30 p.m. And $1 beers are flowing all night long. This is the match fans wait for. High energy, big moments, and a crowd that brings the heat. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Friday Night Lights, fierce rivalry, cold drinks. Don't miss it.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new Off the Rails Tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right?
Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Made a start in center field last night, and Blaze Alexander continues to have an incredible end to this 2025 season. To give you some numbers for Blaze Alexander here as of late. Over the last 7 days, hitting .292 with a .414 on-base percentage and 1122 OPS. Over his last 15 days, a .224 average with a .333 on-base percentage and .844 OPS. You back it up to his last 30 days, a .253 average, a .357 on-base, a .902 OPS. Has his season OPS over the course of 156 at-bats up to 780. He's been great. He has been great as a hitter. Big triple last night for the Diamondbacks in that game. But more importantly than what he's doing offensively, he added something to his bag of tricks last night because he's primarily been playing at third base. But in an effort to get both Blaze Alexander and Jordan Lawlar some consistent playing time, Blaze saw some time in center field last night. And he made an absolutely incredible diving catch. Unfortunately, the takeaway from that play is not how great of a catch it was. It is the injury to Lourdes Gurriel hurting his knee, trying to get out of the way of Blaze Alexander, making that diving catch. But Blaze has looked every bit the part of a player that can contribute to this team in 2026. And you need all the players like that you can get. You've got your core. You've got the core four, right? You've got the four players that we think most of this offense is going to be built around. Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, and Gabby Moreno. That the centerpiece of what you're doing. You need the pieces around them. And Blaze Alexander continuing to having nights like that last night. Big hit with that RBI triple. The big play out in center field showing that he can give you flexibility, position-wise, can play different spots. He's making it hard to ignore, and he is playing his way into, I don't know what his role is, but he has a role on this team in 2026.
I don't know how you can keep this guy out of the lineup next year if he continues to play like this. I mean, he gives you versatility, can play multiple positions. We see that he can line up pretty much anywhere in the infield except first. Now he plays center. So if you can play center, you have a pretty good idea of how to play left and right. Let me lead with that. So now you have a guy who can play 6, 7 different positions in the field, who is tearing the cover off the ball since the start of August. You cannot keep Blaze off the field right now.
And not because, oh gosh, I'm going to overreact to 156 at-bats at the big league level. I want to see more.
I need to know if I have this.
These 156 at-bats aren't confirming anything about Blaze Alexander, but what they are making me want is more. I want to see more Blaze. I want to see if Blaze is an everyday player. Do these numbers stay the course, or do they return to something maybe that is a utility player who plays once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week, is a defensive replacement for me. Or if I give him more opportunity, if I play him every day, does he continue to have an 850? He had an 881 OPS in August. Does that continue? Does he carry an 850, 860, 880 OPS? Because if he's going to play like that, he needs to be in the lineup every day. And so I'm not taking 156 at-bats and saying, put him in Sharpie. He's the starting third baseman, starting center fielder, starting second baseman, opening day for this team. But what I am saying is he absolutely needs to be a starter every single day the rest of this year. I want more Blaze. Give me more Blaze Alexander. That's what this stretch is showing me. Give me more of him every day because I want to know. I want to know if he can be a starter.
You have to know. That's the biggest thing for me is you have to know if he can be a starter. And to this point, has he shown you anything since he's gotten consistent playing time that says, oh, he can't start for us in 2026?
He's shown you a really nice bat here in August and to start September, although they played one game in September. But over his last 106 at-bats, he's been really solid. He's been a plus defender at third. He showed you last night he's not going to be a negative out there in center field. In fact, he might be slightly above average as a defender in center field. Not everybody can go make those types of plays.
No.
That diving catch.
You covered a lot of ground. Playing center field and playing center field in Chase Field are that's a very hard thing to do. They're very different things.
So he's providing you value defensively. He's swinging a hot bat right now. You've got to play him every day. I got to know, is this my starting center fielder next year? Jordan Lawlar. I know we keep comparing the two, and I think they're kind of tied together right now. But while Jordan Lawlar, think about this. Last night, Jordan Lawlar is struggling. He's trying to bunt. He's trying to lay down a bunt to try to get his first hit of the season because he's in his own head right now. And yet, on the flip side, you have Blaze Alexander playing a position that he's played 10 games at in the minor leagues. He's never played at the big league level. RBI triple, making a diving play in center to help out his starting pitcher. That's the difference between the two players right now. Which one feels like the number one prospect in the system, and which one feels like just another guy in the system?
It's flipped. It's completely flipped right now.
And so I get it. You want to make Jordan Lawlar a thing. I want Jordan Lawlar to be a thing. I'm not giving up on Jordan Lawlar, but you got to continue to play Blaze. It doesn't matter what you ask him to do. He's succeeding at it. Meritocracy. We talk about it all the time here on the show. He's doing everything that you're asking him to do, and he's doing it at a pretty high level. That deserves everyday playing time. And I don't think this is even a question at this point. I mean, it's just, you can't argue it. You can't give me a good reason to sit down Blaze Alexander. You can't. He's shown you that he can play two positions at an extremely high level. He's swinging a hot bat. I need those guys in the lineup every single day. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we will wrap up today's edition of the show before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. It's all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. It's called The Leftovers. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and close, closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Back here to wrap up today's edition of the show. Appreciate you joining us. Producer Evan, what do we have in the leftovers today?
So we'll start with what was Monday Night Football this week. We talked about it yesterday before Bill Belichick's first game.
I told you, everybody.
And they got destroyed. They got destroyed.
I told you so.
48-14, the final score. TCU beats UNC at UNC. I thought TCU looked really good as well.
TCU ended the game on a 48-7 run. They went down 7-0.
It was like, I will tell you, their first series for UNC looked really good. And it was like, oh, maybe they do have something here. And then
they do not. They
do not.
And I've heard all of the reasons for why this give Bill time. He needs time. Get his players in there. Really? They had 70 new players come in after spring practice. When he got there, they had 70 new people come into the roster.
Give him time.
He's like 75 years old. I don't mean to be morbid. Time's not on his side. He has to get this going quickly. He's not Kenny Dillingham in his 30s with half of his life in front of him, more than half of his life in front of him.
We need to talk about, just in general, too, how funny that staff is. Did you see?
Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens is their offensive play caller. Freddie Kitchens is the worst head coach I've ever seen, other than Urban Meyer.
And are you surprised that they only scored 14 points last night?
No, I mean, Freddie Kitchens being their offensive play caller is laughable, as well as Steve Belichick. Like, it's bad. Really, really bad.
Again, I'm not trying to be morbid, but Bill Belichick doesn't have time to work through building a program. He's got to win right away. They don't look like they can win right away.
No, they do not.
But again, they're going to get the Colorado attention all year. They're going to get that part of it. But the results, Colorado went their first year 4-8.
Yeah, if that 3-9 maybe.
Certainly looking like that could be in the cards for Bill
Certainly.
and UNC.
Bleacher Report wrote a story this morning, their biggest takeaways from college football week 1. Some overreactions, obviously, but here are what they have. They have 7 takeaways. I'll list them all off for you. Starting with Boise State's big loss opens up the group of 5 race for the last playoff spot.
You said that the day after it happened.
Yeah. Anybody can get in now.
Yep.
I really like Navy to get in that spot.
Okay.
And I think that'd be fun.
Okay.
Ohio State and Texas may have the 2 best defenses.
Yes, their defenses were good, but I need more of a sample size than one game against each other to determine that. But yes, all of the hallmarks of good defenses, yes.
Alabama, period. We're not in the Saban era anymore.
That's not an overreaction. That's
it's just what it is.
That is the truth of the situation there, yes.
Yeah, it's really bad. LSU finally shakes the opener bug and is a favorite.
Went in and beat Clemson, right?
At Clemson.
It's Brian Kelly, so you're always going to have those concerns about winning the big one, right? But
yeah.
They certainly looked the part, yes.
I mean, they typically lose. I feel like they've lost every opener under Brian Kelly. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like that.
And they win this one. And it's against a good quality opponent.
Very good.
So,
Utah's overhauled offense is going to be here to compete.
I didn't get a chance to watch much of Utah over the weekend.
I didn't actually
honest.
watch them. I've just looked at the box score.
So I can't weigh
in on this
one.
And I will tell you, it looks impressive. They beat UCLA 43-10. And they got into ranked, actually. They were the last team in, so they're 25th. And deservingly so. I'll be honest, like, they are a major concern for ASU now.
We've circled that game on the calendar as one to be worried about.
Always are. And listen, holding a Kyle Whittingham program like that down just never feels like it's in the cards for multiple years. They come back. They're going to be competitive again this year. And
correct.
They have a home field advantage that is towards the top in college football.
Yeah, well, it should be fun when ASU and Utah get together.
Carson Beck and Miami make a huge statement is the next one.
By beating Notre Dame?
By beating Notre Dame. In C.J. Carr's first college start.
Yeah, I mean...
I thought Beck looked good. As honest as I can be, I wasn't a huge fan of his at Georgia. I thought that at times he was a little overrated. I thought he was really efficient in this one.
It is Miami, though.
Right? Same feeling as LSU and Brian Kelly, right? Like, eventually they're going to slip up and lose one.
Right.
I thought he looked really efficient. I like a little bit of good for Carson Beck, who had kind of been kicked out of Georgia. He was 24-3 as a starter at Georgia. That's not good enough, right? Like that's
at
how
Georgia. It's not. No,
right, that's how they looked at it. Like, that's not good enough. See ya.
Yeah, they'll take that at Miami.
He played 27 games. He won 24 of them.
Yeah,
and so he gets thrown to the side, and now he's at Miami. So we'll see how it works.
I still think if I had to pick one of those two teams to go further this year,
it'd be Notre Dame.
It still would be Notre Dame.
I trust the coaching staff more.
Right.
I trust that they can run the football. I think the freshman quarterback will ease into the season.
And so
I trust the secondary more and the defense. Like, there's a lot more with Notre Dame, and they fell a couple spots down to 9. If they get into playoffs, they're going to be a problem.
And that's where I'm at, right? So even after Carson Beck looks good and Miami wins, if you made me pick between one of those two teams, I'm still picking Notre Dame.
1,000%. Last one is just, quote, Belichick isn't a miracle worker. We touched on that. He just isn't. Nobody thought – I mean, you and I both didn't think he was going to turn this program around in 6 months with all the distractions they've had.
And this isn't 2005. You don't recruit that way. NIL evens the playing field for everybody, right? Ask Kalen DeBoer about this in Alabama. The reason why Saban was successful is because in a world of non-NIL, Alabama had the pipeline to the NFL. They had the coaching. Perhaps they were doing some stuff behind closed doors that wasn't above board.
Whoa.
But with NIL being out there in the open, there is a more balanced playing field. There is a more even playing field. And so it's not just about, I get to go play for Bill Belichick. It's how much money are you giving me? What opportunity am I going to have? What's my pipeline to the NFL? There's a lot of boxes that need to get checked. And so it's not just about high-profile coaches. Alabama is not the leg up that they were all those years ago. They need to figure out their NIL and recruitment strategy.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that Bill Belichick and North Carolina looked as poorly as they did. It takes a while.
Listen, even when they hired Kenny, I believed in what he was going to do. I said it would take 4 or 5 years. That's what I thought when they made that hire. I am shocked and very happily surprised that it has been as quick as it has for Arizona State. Sorry, what were we saying?
I was going to address a comment in the live chat.
Yeah.
If that was okay with you, because Brian was wondering where the ASU game was on Saturday. Now, Brian, it was not on ESPN2 or ESPN. It was on ESPN Plus. Now, you may be upset that you would have needed an extra subscription to be able to get the ASU game. Don't worry. You couldn't have watched the game because it was broken. The stream was broken on Saturday. But that's where it was, ESPN Plus. And then It's All Code says, we were talking Diamondbacks in the last segment, saying you can't give this guy an extension without telling your fan base that this is acceptable, and you can't go into a lame duck year with him either. It's time for a change. We'll see where things go at the end of the season.
I will tell you, as far as ESPN, and ESPN Plus for ASU. That is their only game that, as of now, that is on a streaming service. Not you can't get national television. Some of them are TBD, but yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah, and like they played NAU, and no offense to NAU, we carry NAU football, and they were very good last year. They were a ranked football team in the playoffs. I'm not surprised.
There was a lot of good games this weekend.
Right. So when you have ESPN and ESPN2 and ESPNU and all, NAU, ASU wasn't going to make the cut.
Yeah, this week they're on ESPN2, and then they're on TNT, and then Fox, and there's a couple TBD games. So they do have that Friday night one against TCU on Fox. Should be a big one.
Well, after the way TCU looked last night, that one you kind of circle
on the calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, you circle that one, and you get a little excited about that test for ASU's defense.
Bleacher Report ranked all the rookies in baseball.
Okay.
Ranked every team's best rookie.
Jordan Lawlar, number 1.
It was not. Number 24 were the D-backs, and their best rookie is Andrew Saul-Frank, according to the article.
I mean, he's been great. He's been really good for them since coming back from the suspension. That is going to do it for us here on this edition of the program. Jim Rome coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.